As we light our chalice in the words of Pat Uribe Lichty, our chalice is a reminder that in hard times, our ancestors in faith acted with courage to bring hope and safety, to bring life itself to threatened people. We light it today as a reminder of who we are called to be in a world still dangerous and despairing. With courage and faith, we bring ourselves to the work before us. Please rise as you are willing and able for our opening song. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence, the bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Welcome, everyone, to the First Unitarian Church of Honolulu, where we strive to build the beloved community and boldly grow compassion, justice, and joy. It's good to be together and share our hearts. We are glad you are here today. I extend a special greeting to visitors and newcomers this morning in the building and on Zoom. For those in our sanctuary, please join us right after the service for light refreshments and fellowship so we can talk story and get to know you better. My name is Catherine Graham. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm your worship leader this morning. I've been a member of this church for nearly 50 years, and I am currently serving as vice president of the board and worship coordinator. I love this church, this congregation, and Unitarian Universalism. So please forgive me when I get a bit overenthusiastic about the good things that are going on, and overly sad when things go awry. And in the absence of our president, Suyamani Carpenter, who's on the mainland actually for just another couple days, I'm your go-to person to answer any of your questions or concerns. That being said, I'm so happy you have chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us today. whether you are a longtime member, a friend, or a newcomer. No matter where you come from or who you love, you are welcome here. We have a special treat for you this morning. Keola Whittaker is with us once again. Keola is a ministerial student at Star King School for the Ministry, which is our UU seminary in Oakland, California. He's been with us a couple of times already this year, and he's going to continue to preach for us at least once a month for the coming future. When he's not preparing for the ministry or preaching here with us, he's busy being a lawyer on Maui. So this morning, he's decided that since this is the beginning of the school year, backpacks should be blessed. So we have our children with us this morning, which is really kind of fun. And I hope you all brought your school bags. And if you didn't, imagine them in your minds so that they can still be blessed. And we invite Keola up.
Thank you, Catherine. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. So today's a very special day. We're going to do a new ceremony. So you may know there are a lot of Unitarian Universalist ceremonies. You did your water communion a few weeks ago, and we have other communions. Well, we are creating new ones, and there's a brand new book called Blessing It All that has new Unitarian Universalist ceremonies. And we're going to do one today as a celebration of the new year, and I see that the children have brought their backpacks. But this isn't just a ceremony for children. So I see others have brought their bags and backpacks. Maybe some people brought their purses, didn't even know there was a ceremony happening today. We'll bless those too. You'll be included. So if you have your backpack, let's have the children maybe come up with their backpacks, and then if you have your bags back there, we're going to have you hold those up. So you can stand or sit, it's up to you, but we're going to show everybody your backpacks, okay? And if you hear, this is what you use your bag for, I want you to hold it up. Okay, we carry bags for many reasons. So some of us take our books and homework to school in our bags. If you do that, hold up your bag. Some of us bring our lunches to school or work in our bags. Anybody do that? And some people bring things like books or yarn or knitting needles. There are places that might wait patiently. And some of us even have special bags for our dogs, or sometimes our dogs go in our bags, all right? Okay, are your bags already full of things, or are they empty? Oh, empty at home? Okay. Hawk, you have some things in your bag? All right. Well, we're going to add some more things to your bags, okay? But don't worry, they won't get any heavier. And this blessing is not me doing the blessing. All of you are going to do the blessing of the bag. So we're going to do this together, okay? So the first thing we're going to put in your bags, I think it's really nice to have love in your bags. And so for those of you in the back, when we are ready to put love in your bags, you're going to hold it up to receive the love. You can open up your bags, okay? So what we're going to do together is we're going to find love. So wherever you keep your love, maybe it's in your heart, maybe you have some love in your pockets, maybe you have love in your guts. Let's gather that love up, okay? Let's gather it up, and we're going to all make our love into a little pillow, okay? And now throw the love into somebody's bag. Everyone throw your love, catch the love if you have your bags.
I have an imaginary backpack.
Okay, imaginary backpack. You get love too in your imaginary backpack. All right. What else shall we take? You know, when I go to school, I sometimes felt a little scared on my first weeks. Courage! That's exactly what I was going to say. Wow, you're super smart. So I need some courage in my backpacks. So shall we gather up courage? Let's find where we have courage in our bodies, okay? I get courage in my back pockets, just in case I need it.
Imaginary backpack.
And we're going to put the courage in a little pillow to throw in people's bags. Okay, everyone, provide your blessings of courage in the backpacks. Open up your backpacks. Get the courage, everyone. Oh, I got to put it in your imaginary backpack. Hawk, did you get courage? All right. Okay, what else do we need?
Kindness.
Kindness, that's great. Okay, I think kindness and joy is a really good thing to carry with you in your backpacks as you go along your day. So let's gather up kindness. Where do we keep our kindness?
In our heart.
In our hearts. If somebody feeds me well, I keep it in my stomach. Okay? All right, let's gather up the kindness and put it in a pillow. Okay, throw your kindness into the bags.
What about me?
Imaginary backpacks, purses, everybody get your kindness. All right, last one. Is there anything else you want in your bags that you think you need? Joy. I love joy because it makes us smile, it makes us dance and move around, right? Just unabashed joy. So let's find some joy this morning, okay? Let's find joy. Maybe it's on the ground. Let's gather up the joy.
Oh, when I spin, I gather up joy.
Oh, spin around and gather up your joy. Okay, I'll spin too. Okay, we got our joy. I dance and I get my joy. Oh, there's more joy generated. All right, let's gather it up. Let's put our joy in a pillow. Okay, open up your bags. Are you ready? Okay, everyone receive your joy. Hawk, you're collecting the joy. Okay, you're getting your backpack. All right, I think you're ready. You've got joy, you've got courage, you've got kindness, you've got love. And so as a symbol of all of your backpack blessings, we're going to give you a ribbon to tie to your backpack. So choose a color that you like. Yeah. I know which one you want. You told me you got it. Oh, you want to change? Yeah. And we're going to pass this around to everybody, so don't worry. The children get the first pick. So if there's a color missing, I'm sorry. Okay? And if you don't have your bag here, you feel free to take one, and we can always make more. We have more ribbons to share. So would one of you please pass this basket to somebody, and we'll continue the blessing, okay? Thank you. All right, so...
Gratitude. What about gratitude?
Oh, we'll put some gratitude in there. You're expressing your gratitude for the blessing? All right, I'm going to take the gratitude from you and give it back. Thanks for your gratitude. All right, thanks everybody. I hope that'll make your next school year even more special. And don't worry, you won't have to stay for my sermon. I think it's pretty interesting, but maybe not interesting enough. So, you'll stay for the prayer. So why don't we all sit down? Thank you so much. Oh, you can sit here. Yeah, if you want to sit here, that's great. So today, September 21st, is International Peace Day. That's a day that's set by the United Nations. So there's so much conflict and war in the world that it is really nice today to celebrate the thoughts, the idea, the intention, the push for peace. As you may have seen on this church's social media accounts, there were a lot of Peace Day activities yesterday and today. I participated in one on Maui. It was a beautiful interfaith ceremony at the Hongwaji Temple in Makawao, and we had people of all faiths there, all faiths and no faiths. They needed somebody to do a reading for their spiritual, not religious, and they said, how about the Unitarian Universalists? So I said, okay, I can do that, no problem. And they asked me to do a prayer for that as well. So I'm going to share the prayer that I gave yesterday as today's prayer for Peace Day. To the source of all that is, by whatever name we know you, in whatever way we understand you, we offer our heart's deepest longing for peace. May we find the courage to be peacemakers in our own lives, starting with the conflicts within ourselves and extending outward to our families, our communities, and our world. Grant us the wisdom to see beyond the surface differences that divide us, to recognize the common hopes and fears that unite us as one human family. Help us to embody radical love, the ability to hold both fierce compassion for justice and genuine love for all beings, even those whose actions we oppose. Help us listen more than we speak, to seek understanding before seeking to be understood. May we be agents of healing in a wounded world by offering forgiveness where there has been hurt, building bridges where there are walls, planting seeds of hope where despair has taken root. Strengthen us to work for justice in all of its forms, economic, environmental, racial, and social. Guide us to use our privilege, our resources, and our voices to amplify those who have been marginalized, silenced, or forgotten. May we never be content with charity when what is needed is systemic change. Protect those who are suffering in conflict zones around the world. Comfort those who grieve, and inspire leaders everywhere to choose the harder path of diplomacy and understanding over the easier road of division and blame. May we hold accountable those in power who perpetuate systems of oppression, and may we support those who courageously speak truth to power. May we remember that we are but a temporary stewards of this beautiful planet, and may we leave it more peaceful, more just, and more loving than we found it. And may the peace we seek in the world begin today, in this moment, in our own hearts. May it be so. Amen. Peace, shalom, salam.
We had our children with us this morning. We don't usually do that, so that was kind of fun. You can tell they're not used to it. But I'd like to introduce, before they go upstairs, I'd like to introduce to you our new child care providers. So when you see them, you'll know who they are. So we have Aaron. Come on up here, Aaron, so people can see you. I'm sorry. And Shay. And Naomi. And so some of them are in the back with the littles, and if there are no littles, they'll go upstairs and be with the older children, along with some of our members who are trained in the curriculum that they're using. So let's give a hand to our wonderful new child care providers. And so when you see them, you'll know who they are, and you can talk stories. So thanks, and we'll sing our children upstairs with the song, Love Will Guide You.
Picture this with me. You're walking through an old, beloved house. The bones are good, the foundation is solid, but over time, walls have been added that divide once flowing spaces into cramped, separate rooms. the light struggles to reach the center. The house still shelters, but it no longer breathes. It no longer has the magic that it once had. Then comes a day you decide to renovate. Not tear down, never tear down, but open up. To remove the walls that divide, to let the light fill every corner. To create spaces where people gather and move freely, where laughter can echo and tears can be held, where the full spectrum of human experience can unfold while honoring the beautiful foundation that has held everything together through the years. This is the moment we're living in as Unitarian Universalists. We are in the midst of a spiritual renovation that should make every one of our hearts race with possibility. But let me be clear. This change is not about abandoning our intellectual heritage. God knows we need thinking people in the world right now. But opening up new spaces for the heart, the body, and the soul to flourish alongside the mind. For too long, we've been known as the thinking people's religion. But friends, we're so much more than minds on sticks, aren't we? We're embodied beings with hearts that yearn for connections. We're spirits that long to sing and dance and pray and weep together. I get really excited thinking about this because I've seen those moments when we let ourselves be whole. In my church experiences, I've watched faces light up when someone realizes they can be both logically minded and spiritually moved. I felt the power in the rooms when skeptics and mystics discover that they're working towards the same vision of the beloved community. And let me tell you, as someone in seminary learning from people on the leading edge of this, I see signs of a spiritual renaissance in our faith. If I may say so, this may be our own great awakening that honors where we've been by boldly claiming where we're going. And church, I promise you, this new Unitarian Universalism will take your breath away. Let's first talk about where we've been. Our Unitarian Universalist ancestors were revolutionaries. I like to use the term spiritual rebels. Their courage still moves me. I think of the Universalist Hosea Ballou, whose heart could not accept a God of eternal punishment. Or Unitarian Theodore Parker, who preached that the moral arc bends towards justice with such fierce hope it echoed into Martin Luther King Jr.'s voice. These ancestors gave us extraordinary gifts: the freedom to think critically about our faith, to embrace Darwin and Einstein alongside Buddha and Jesus, to create communities where atheists and theists can work together for justice and discover that they're practicing the same love. But somewhere along the way, something got lost. In our very understandable zeal to be the respectful, rational, and reasonable faith, we began to reduce the importance of the very things that makes our religion transformative: mystery, ritual, ecstasy, and spiritual practice. We became, as one UU church ministers of music said, God's frozen people. I felt this myself sometimes, and maybe you have too. That moment when you wanted to sing out in worship, but worried you'd seem like you're unsophisticated. When you felt moved to tears by something sacred, but embarrassed by your own emotion. We created communities where it was safer to analyze spirituality than experience it. And the cost? Oh, the cost has been real. We've sometimes become communities of the kind, the thoughtful, the well-intentioned folks, but not always the communities of the transformed. We've attracted people's minds, but struggled to reach their hearts. We've offered intellectual freedom, but not always spiritual transformation. I think of the young adults who've told me, I love what Unitarian Universalism stands for, but I don't feel like it feeds my soul. And then there's a story that breaks my heart and gives me hope. I follow this popular atheist YouTuber because she has really good insights. And in one video, she admitted something vulnerable. She longs for community that comes together and performs rituals and shares values and that cares for each other, but without the sticky dogma of religion. I was like, that's us. And her viewers had the same response. And they immediately suggested Unitarian Universalist churches. But her response stopped me cold. She said, I've tried UU churches, and they didn't have the kind of spiritual community I needed and longed for. Instead, the church primarily had lectures. It felt like a DNC meeting. That made me laugh too, and feel a little sadness at the same time. Here is somebody who is spiritually hungry, seeking exactly what we claim to offer, and the church that she stepped into that Sunday morning failed her. Not because UU values are wrong, but because we've forgotten that shared values without shared spiritual practice is just, well, a political meeting. And there's nothing wrong with a political meeting, of course, but we, our souls, need more. But friends, I have urgent news for you today. We are no longer God's frozen people. The ice is melting. The walls are coming down. Something extraordinary, and I mean soul-stirring, hope-igniting extraordinary is happening in our faith nationwide, and I love it. We're leaning into being a faith with spirit. I'm going to give you some examples at the bigger level. After years of study, thousands of conversations, and yes, prayer, because that's what discernment is, even if we don't always describe it as prayer, we voted to transform how we describe our faith. We moved from the 7 principles and 6 sources to 6 values centered on love. Now you might think, what's the big deal? We changed some words in our bylaws, but oh, beloved community, this change made me want to dance with excitement, just because of the way it was retooled. Just listen to the difference. Where we once had principles we affirm and promote, language that really engages our minds, we have shared values that we live, quote, through the spiritual discipline of love. Did you hear that? Spiritual discipline of love. This is the language of practice, of transformation, of a faith that changes not just how we think, but how we are in the world. And at the center, at the very beating heart of it all is love. Not love as a nice sentiment or a political slogan, but love as the power that holds us together. Love as the force that transforms us. Love as our spiritual discipline, our religious practice, our sacred calling, and perhaps our very purpose for being. And the values aren't just words. We've adopted an image of the 6 values you may have seen. They dance around the center like petals around a flower. I've seen also some churches use images that look like an electron around an atom. You see interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. And if you can't remember all of those, don't worry, I'm still learning too. Each one calls on us not just to intellectual assent, but to embodied practice, to ways of being that engage our whole selves. Let me read to you the words that accompany transformation, because I think they're just beautiful. It says, we adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Friends, this is not just being open-minded. It is committed to ongoing spiritual evolution together. It is saying we expect to be different people because we're in religious community with each other. And these values don't just describe what we believe, they describe how we commit to living, growing, and being transformed together. They make spiritual demands on us. They call us to be changed by our faith, not just informed by it. There's another thing that's pretty cool, the music. If you want to see the spiritual renaissance in action, if you want to feel what embodied Unitarian Universalism looks like, look no further than our new virtual hymnal, Sing Out Love. It's brand new. We're building a collection of songs and resources through an accessible online platform that will grow and change and be added to over time. According to those who created the hymnal, this virtual hymnal will help us live into our prophetic calling as a joyful, liberatory, and anti-oppressive faith. Joyful, liberatory. Can you imagine? We're claiming joy. Actual embodied can't help but smile joy as part of our religious calling. I get emotional thinking about it because music is where I first learned that my heart and my mind could dance together instead of fighting. Because when we sing together, something magical happens. We breathe together. Literally, synchronize our breathing. Our hearts begin to beat in rhythm. Our bodies move. Our spirits soar. I love that this church has invested in its music program. I think that it's a sign that it's leaning into a broader UU movement towards embodied worship. Because when we lift our voices together, we stop being a collection of individuals who happen to agree on some ideas and become a genuine spiritual community. There's an old joke about Unitarian Universalism I want to share with you. A new person comes into a UU church, they sit in the front row, and they felt so moved by the sermon that they say, "Amen!" A longtime member looks over and says, "Excuse me, sir, we don't say those kind of things in this church." And he says back, "Well, I'm sorry, but I feel religion." And she says, "Well, you certainly didn't get that here." I love that joke. It has some truth to it. But I think things are changing, and I love our transformation. This isn't the first time we've transformed. We transformed a lot in the 60s and 70s. We had our merger in 1961. We went through the civil rights movement, feminism, LGBTQ plus inclusion. We reinvented ourselves before, and we can again. With each change, our ancestors chose courage over comfort, growth over stagnation. They chose to trust in our living tradition that was strong enough to evolve and vibrant enough to expand and resilient enough to be reborn. Now it's our turn to be ancestors for the future, and I think that future is going to be magnificent. Look around in our world, beloved community. We live in times of profound division where people retreat into ideological bunkers and demonize those who think differently. We live in a time where organized religion is often associated with exclusion, with judgment, and political manipulation. We live in a time when people are spiritually hungry and theologically homeless, when they long for transcendence but can't stomach fundamentalism. The world is crying out for communities that can hold complexity without that fundamentalism, that can be deeply spiritual without being narrow-minded, that can work for justice without being self-righteous. The world needs places where questions are welcomed alongside answers, where doubt and faith can dance together, where transformation is possible and love is practiced. This is our gift to offer. This is what makes my heart race with possibility. But here's the key, and this is where I get passionate. We can offer this gift to ourselves. We can only offer this gift if ourselves are transformed by it. If we're just a debating society with good values, if we're just a social club, we're not offering the world what it so desperately needs. The world desperately needs spiritual communities that change lives. So what does this look like? Glad you asked. Picture worship services where we don't just think about interdependence, but feel it through music that requires us to listen to each other and blend our voices like we did this morning. Where we don't just discuss transformation, but experience it through rituals that mark passages and changes. where prayers aren't just pretty words, but practices that connect us to something larger than ourselves. Again, this isn't about being less intellectual. This is about letting our intellects dance with our hearts, our analysis marry our intuition, our thoughts to be held by our prayers, and our prayers to be grounded by our actions. What makes me most excited is we're not trying to become something we're not. We're becoming more fully who we're called to be. Other religious communities do wonderful, beautiful, necessary things, but few can offer what we offer. A place where your theology can grow and change. Where questions are welcomed. Where you can be both scientifically informed and spiritually nourished. Where justice work and personal transformation go hand in hand. We're creating laboratories of 21st century spirituality. As my professor, Reverend Dr. Sherry Prudhomme, writes, the religious responsibility of the faithful is to remove and dismantle systems and structures that prevent the full flourishing of life and to enhance and side with the movement of creative and active love. Friends, that's not just our theology, that's our love song. That's our prayer being manifest in this world. So here's my invitation to you. Let's not be timid about who we're becoming. Let's sing new songs with courage. Let's practice love with our whole selves, mind, body, and spirit. Let's risk being changed by each other so that the world can be changed through us. I want you to imagine it with me. A world where no one has to wonder if they're worthy of love. A world where children growing up are surrounded by blessings. A world where the lonely are gathered in, the grieving are held, and the joyful have a place to dance. Friends, that world is not a dream because I see the ice melting. I see the walls coming down. I see the light pouring in. And together we are building a house of love. A house where all are welcomed. A house where justice is born. A house where spirits are set free. That house, my friends, is Unitarian Universalism. And the world is waiting for us to open the doors wide open. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
It is our custom here at First Unitarian Church of Honolulu to share our weekly and monthly offerings with the group whose mission is in concert with our own. This month, we are supporting our sister church in Kaikan, Philippines. And here is Nan Kleiber, who has visited there to tell us more about this congregation.
I'm back. Hi, Nan. Good day to you and all included in this email and all your congregation. The coverage of my email this day is from December 24th, 2024. For seawall update. Last November, I promised to send you an update a week after I sent you the email regarding the seawall. Yet I haven't updated you because it's all a mess. But now, there's still no improvement. I consulted the officials of our community. They said that the funds were being raised, as well as the donation of sacks of concrete, and were being collected by the barrio captain. But he did not sign the solicitation letter. That's why until now the seawall does not go repair. We do hope that the local officials will help us at some point to make the seawall again. We've worked on that seawall for years. This is a tiny congregation of about 30 families that live between a rock and a hard place. They live between the main road going north and south on the island of Negros in the department of Negros Oriental in the Philippines, in the middle part, not in Manila, not in Luzon, not in the north, but in the middle. They are very poor and they are Unitarian Universalist, although their first principle is we believe in God. And then there are the other 7 that the UUA has had for a long time. In order to be considered a religion in the Philippines, they have to state that they believe in God. And they probably do, actually. There's probably not a lot of discussion because they live in a Catholic country. They are dissenters both from the Catholic tradition of the Philippines and from the evangelizing Pentecostals and other Protestant faiths that are moving into the Philippines. They need our help to survive physically as well as spiritually as well as intellectually. So I'm going to be up here for several more Sundays talking more about this. We do have some slides, which are not. This is the little church in the Philippines. It's a wonderful place to be. And we also have some slides, which will be there next week or the week after, of the devastation that the song we just sang about is, where the seawall is about 30 feet from the cliff on the sea side. So there's a little bit of seawall left, and the land is retreating, squashing the church building between the road and the sea. So thank you for your generosity. And if you have questions about this, please ask me. Thank you.
Your donations will now be accepted, and we have lots of ways to give. You can scan the QR code if you know how to do that, or you can text that number that's up there on the screen and it'll take you to a secure giving page. You can put some money in the calabash that's going to come around. You can write a check and put for Share the Plate September and send it to the church. So we're really open to taking your money however you'd like to give it. So thank you. Thank you for your generosity. So here I have our book of life. It lives over here on the table right before you enter the sanctuary. In it, you can write your joys and your concerns that we will share during the service. So we have a joy, and that is, yesterday was Molly's 93rd birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Molly. Happy birthday to you. So Molly is our longest time member. I think she's been a member since the mid-60s. And she's our greeter every week. She organizes the greeters. She organizes our decorators. She organizes the people who help with parking outside. And she's going to go on forever. And, you know, that's our mandate to her, that she be here forever. So thank you, Molly, and happy birthday. So I'm going to pass my hand over the congregation, and if you have any other joys, please just yell them out. Okay. Life, great. Okay, thank you. And we also have one concern, and that is that Abby Delane, who is Thomas's lovely wife, is not feeling well. And we would like to send her our thoughts and our prayers and our well wishes to get better as soon as possible. So, Abby, I hope you're listening. You know, get well. And I'm going to pass my hand across the congregation again if anyone else has any concerns they would like to share with us.
Freedom of speech.
Here's you.
So our life is filled with joys and with concerns, and as Keola said, if we center all this with love, we're going to make it through. So thank you, everyone. Okay. Our time together is finished, but our work is not done. I think we have a song, I forgot. Okay. Yeah, somehow that didn't make it on my thing. Okay, so if you all please stand if you're willing and able to sing verses 3 and 4 of the song that we just sang, verses 1 and 2 of. Thanks.
Generation, oh, will build a
That is our aspiration, that we can build that land. So our time together here is finished, but our work, obviously, is not done. May our spirits be renewed and our resolve strengthened as we meet the challenge of this week to come. This chalice is extinguished until we ignite it again with the spark of our community. So Carla, you have an announcement?
Good morning, I'm Carla Allison, and I'm here on behalf of Team Hope, and we are looking forward to welcoming you to this afternoon's Listening to Understand workshop. Starts here in the sanctuary promptly at 11:30, and thanks to our awesome hospitality team, there's lunch, so please grab lunch. If you aren't signed up, it's all good because we have the same workshop happening next Sunday, so you can come to that. But if you need to attend today and aren't signed up, or if you aren't sure if you're signed up, or if you want to sign up for next Sunday, just see me after worship. Thanks.
And our hospitality team always welcomes people to help clean up afterwards. So please come and help wash dishes if you'd like. So please stand for our closing song and ask before if someone would like to take hands. That's always a nice thing to do for Hawaii Aloha.